Om Asatoma Sadgamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amrutangamaya Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. O Lord, please lead us from unreality to the reality, from ignorance to the knowledge, and from mortality to the immortality. Om, peace, peace, peace. Dear devotees, we are all trying to know and study about the great lady, the Ireland's inspiration, Miss Margaret Noble, who is popularly known as Sister Nivedita. She dedicated her life for the betterment of the society, for the goodness of the society. She never cared for herself anything other than for the good of the people or of the good of the good for the people. So her life was with complete dedication, commitment, and renunciation. And these ideas, these noble ideas, rare indeed holy ideas, were taken by her master, who was none other than the Vedantic lion, the Hindu monk, that is Swami Vivekananda. Once, when Sister Nivedita went to Belur Math, which is in Calcutta, in western part of India or eastern part of India, he mentions to Sister Nivedita that, quote, righteousness lies in duty done, holiness requires renunciation. It is a formula for all of us where we have to think and we have to meditate. And if possible, we have to try to put into practice, and we have to, if say for an example, there's a caste in which the molten either iron or any alloy is used and they prepare a utensils. So like that, this idea is like a caste and our mind should be poured. We ourselves should be poured in that and we should prepare ourselves so that we can become a beautiful human being, right human being. And the same thing is reflected in Sister Nivedita's life. In my previous class, I did tell about the greatness and the sacrifice and the charitable mindedness of Sister Nivedita. How much she had to struggle, she had to face hardships to serve the girls with respect to education. And even after doing all that, it was not a cakewalk for her. When she went door to door and requested the people to send their children to school, which was a free school in its nature, many people, they saw Sister Nivedita in a questionable manner. Why is this lady who has come from West, why is she so much interested in our girls' education? Has she got some vested interest? Or does she really want to improve our girls? What is her intention? What is her interest? Many of the people, they used to see her in very negative manner initially. She had to bear all the troubles, all the hardships. Slowly, slowly, people started accepting Sister Nivedita. And when this idea was told by Swami Vivekananda to his chosen disciple, Sister Nivedita, righteousness lies in duty alone, holiness requires renunciation. It gave a lot of ideas and support for her work in India with respect to girls' education. Why? She was facing hardships. One is acceptance of society, accepting Indian society of Sister Nivedita and her works. And the second thing is because slowly, with her dedication, commitment, sincerity, slowly from mouth to mouth, Sister Nivedita's work was spread, and people started accepting her, people started appreciating her. Now, around 30 girls had enrolled themselves for her school, which was free of its nature. So, now the huge problem for her was money, monetary help. We can think many things. We have got wonderful ideas, we have got wonderful thoughts, but to materialize it, to put into practice, we need money, isn't it? We need monetary help. And the same problem was faced by Sister Nivedita too. So there, Swamiji is saying that righteousness lies in duty alone. We should not boggle too much about all these things. We should keep on continuing our work sincerely. Today or tomorrow, God will help us. So our duty is in righteousness, means believing in righteousness and doing right actions. Believing in righteousness and doing in right actions, that's all we can do, and rest we should leave for God. That's what Karma Yoga says. Doing right work with right attitude. And for that, the condition, terms and condition, as told by Swami Vivekananda, is holiness requires renunciation. Here, holiness and righteousness has been equated by Swami Vivekananda. So one who is holy, one who is a holy person is a righteous person. If he is a righteous person, is either is a monk or a lay person or a business person or a political entrepreneur, whomever so, if he is a righteous person, he is a holy person. If he is a holy person, definitely he is a righteous person. And what is the base required for that? To become righteous, to become holy, you need renunciation. That's what Swami Vivekananda is saying. So this is the greatest message given by Swami Vivekananda for entire humankind, including all of us. And of course for Sister Nivedita too, contextually. And why do we need renunciation? And what do Swami Vivekananda mean here? Okay, since he was a monk, he had left his home on earth. So does it mean that he is asking all of us to renounce the life? I mean, to renounce the home on earth and to become monks or nuns? Does Swami Vivekananda mean it? No. Here renunciation means, as Swami Vivekananda himself explains elsewhere, that renunciation of selfishness, renunciation of self-interest, renunciation of instincts, renunciation of narrow-mindedness, renunciation of I, pseudo-ego. Oh, I am doing this work. I have done this work. So people should accept me. People should obey me. I will do good work, no doubt. By doing this good work, what do I am going to get? What benefit I am going to get? So such type of selfish interest, self-vested interest, most of us we are having. So that should be renounced, Swami Vivekananda is saying. And most of us, instinctively we behave, we act or react. So that should be shunned, according to Swami Vivekananda. And of course, fanaticism has to be shunned, no doubt. So when Swami Vivekananda says, holiness requires renunciation, my dear Nivedita, so here Swami Vivekananda means renunciation of all these things. Sister Nivedita herself says, when I met Swamiji, my guru or my master, when this utterance was told, it gave me such a support for my work in India. I was facing a lot of hardships, but this sentence, this message by master, it gave a great support. Why? One is, as already I said, society was not accepting just because she was good, but society was not aware of it or was not aware of her interest, her dedication, her commitment, as well as the great challenge was for her was monetary help. So these were at this problem, at this juncture, she was thinking very much, what should I do? How should I go about? And Swami Vivekananda, after giving this message, he tells one more beautiful statement. The history of the world is the history of a few earnest men or earnest men, and when one man is earnest, the world must just come and it will fall at his feet. And I am not going to water down my ideas and ideals, and I am going to dictate terms. So again, indirectly, he is telling to Sister Nivedita, problems may come and go, it never minds, but because I am getting problems, I should never, or you should never loosen, or you should never bring down the ideas and ideals of our work or of our mission. And I will stick on to it. If I am sincere, if I am dedicated, if I am committed, and if it is truthful, the whole world will come and fall at his feet. And this was seen very clearly in the life of Swami Vivekananda when he did work in his West. Similarly, after coming from West, when he was giving lectures, when he started Ramakrishna mission, no doubt initially there was a lot of problems, there were a lot of troubles, there were a lot of challenges, but still he was able to cross over all of them. Now, the whole West, whatever we are saying, Vedantic movement or yoga or our Indian culture, all these things, because the seed was sown by Swami Vivekananda 125 years before. Now we are able to see the results. And Swami Vivekananda himself prophesied that, oh guys, you are all my children, no doubt, but you are all like fillers. And my children will come after so many years. They are the real soldiers of my wisdom or of my philosophy. So they will try to bring the great change in the world. Swami Vivekananda has prophesied it. So we are the fillers. So that just in any war field, if you see, initially whoever goes and confront the enemies, most of them they die. They are aware of it, but they have to be martyred. No, there is no way out. So just like so many monks in the Ramakrishna order says that we belong to the earlier generations of this Ramakrishna order. We are all fillers. Means we fill the pits and we make the road proper so that the real soldiers of Swami Vivekananda comes and they spread the Vedanta as prophesied by Swami Vivekananda. But of course, initially whoever came, they are the pillars of this Vedantic movement. They were the world movers of this Vedantic movement also. We should not miss that point. At the same time, Swami Abhayananda, Miss Mary Louise, I think her name was, she was an American lady, and she was initiated into sannyas by Swami Vivekananda when he was in America. And she had come to India and she had lectured about Vedanta and probably about Hinduism also, especially in Mumbai and Calcutta and all. So many people were impressed. And she came back to see her master Swami Vivekananda she met, and Nivedita and Swami Abhayananda, that is in the pre-monastic name, she was Mary Louise. Both of them, they stayed together, they interacted each other. And now there was a desire in Sister Nivedita's mind that even I should embrace monastic life. Already she was leading a celibate life, no doubt. She was leading the purest life. So now there was a desire, intense desire in Nivedita's mind that I should take sannyas. Just like Swami Abhayananda. Actually, Swamini how she took the monastic vows from her master. Similarly, I should also get my monastic vows from my master, Swami Vivekananda. So once she went to her master Swami Vivekananda and she expressed her desire that, will you mind to initiate me into monastic vows? But Swami Vivekananda, he told very clearly, you just keep as you are. Whatever I've told you to do, just you keep doing, I know what to do. But because of this interest or her request, on March 25th, 1899, that is on Saturday, Swami Vivekananda initiated Nivedita into Naishtika Brahmacharya Diksha. Naishtika Brahmacharya Diksha means he or she will not be married for their whole of their time, and they dedicate their life for the service of God and also for spiritual practice. They dedicate their life for spiritual practices. That's what been seen now in the life of Sister Nivedita. Just a year before, more or less on the same day, March 25th, 1898, She was initiated. Probably she was initiated means she was given a spiritual initiation, like mantra diksha we say. She had a mantra diksha from her guru, and her name was changed from Margaret Noble to Nivedita, the dedicated ones. And today, that is on March 25th, 1899, again she was blessed by her guru, Swami Vivekananda, by getting initiated into Naistika Brahmacharya Diksha. And afterwards, she never asked anything. At, uh, at any time, she never asked for her master to bless into monastic vows. And Swami Vivekananda, again and again, he was telling that we should try to uplift the masses, and we should uplift the status of the woman. Then only the India can move, India can prosper, India can progress. And for that, he made Sister Nivedita as his instrument. Of course, Kashmir Raja had donated some amount then, and she had some personal savings. From that, she was able to take care of the school for a few months, no doubt. Then 1 year was at the end, probably in the March. It was a closing time, and there was a art and craft exhibition was arranged where the 30 girls, whatever the paintings and drawings they had done, and whatever the paperwork they were done, and whatever the stitching clothes, art and craft, what all things they were done, it was exhibited, and it was local peoples were invited. From children to the age-old people, they came. A good amount of people they came, and they viewed, and they were all impressed by Sister Nivedita, her work, and all them they felt that yes, probably if we admit our girls to this Nivedita's girls school, definitely our children will learn a lot. Probably in the next coming academical year, we will send our children to your school. This assurance was got from many people. Nivedita is happy, no doubt, but at the same time, there was a huge problem. Whatever the amount she had, almost it is now, it was dissolved by spending on the girls' education. Now she don't have money. Swami Vivekananda took help. Even he also never had any money. Whatever he had given to Belur Much Monastery. There was also need of funds. Then there was a huge problem with running school. When Sister Nivedita came to discuss this monetary problem with Swami Vivekananda said, see, doctors have advised me to take care of my health or to recover of my health to go to West to have a sea voyage. So I'm thinking again to go to the West. Why don't you join with me so that you can come? You can come along with me to UK and USA, and probably you can try to collect some funds, and you can come back and you can run the school, girls' school. But again, she was very much disturbed by this. Why? Because if it goes and comes, probably it may take 6 months or 7 months or 8 months. Then after a month or two, she is supposed to start a school. What will happen to the school? Whether the school will die out, people may be joined to different schools, or they may lose interest. What will happen of her initial hard work? Then she asked some time to think, and after few days, she came and told, yes, I will join you, my mom. So she told to Swamiji. Probably there's the time or some point of time, Swami Vivekananda had told beautiful point. Each work has to pass 3 stages. This is very important for all of us. The first stage is ridicule. The second stage is opposition. The third stage is acceptance. Those who think ahead of the time, in generally, they are misunderstood. That's what Swami Vivekananda says. The same case with all the prophets, with all the great people, either saints or the educators or the who have changed the world to a certain extent, who have changed the society to a certain extent, who have brought the new wave in any field, most of them were misunderstood. Same thing was happening in the life of Swami Vivekananda as well as in Sister Nivedita. So ridicule, opposition, and acceptance. And same thing has been witnessed even in Ramakrishna Math, or Ramakrishna Mission, or Ramakrishna movement when we started. Initially, we were ridiculed. Oh, these young people, they have left their home and earth, and instead of sitting and praying and meditating, they are coming and sweeping the roads, cleaning the roads, and they want to do education work, they want to do, philanthropic works, relief work, so on and so forth. All these things are nonsense. What is this and all? So we were ridiculed. We were branded as scavenger monks, Bangi sadhus, scavenger monks. What all scavengers they work they do, such type of works even these monks are doing. So I don't think there may be monks, but they are scavenger monks. So in such a way that we were ridiculed. We were not accepted by traditional monks or by traditional people. So slowly we continued, our monks, they continued their services. Then slowly, they started opposing. It is against Shastras, it is against scriptures, it is against traditions. So you should not do that. Then still we kept on continuing. Now the whole society has accepted, and more or less, at least from Indian context, if you see, many monasteries are accepting the need of service, and the traditional mutts have started now service, like opening schools, opening hospitals, opening rehabilitation centers at some point of time. So this is what we see in the time, from the life of prophets or from the life of incarnations. They come, and they come as a big tide. They come as a big wave. From that, the whole society, country, civilization, or few generations, they change their thinking. They change their thinking style, or approaching the truth, or approaching the service, or whatever. So that's what we see when Swami Vivekananda and Sri Ramakrishna came. And same thing we can see after the advent of Jesus. There was a huge tide, and the whole world, western part of the world, there was a change. And same thing we can see in Sister Nivedita also. She initiated this girls' school, and today also that girls' school, it is going in a very successful manner, which is taken by Ramakrishna Sharda Mission or Sharda Mutt, which is a sister organization of Ramakrishna Mutt for nuns, for ladies. But initially it was a new experiment, but now we are seeing so much girls' education is given importance in India that was started from Sister Nivedita directly or indirectly. But with all these things, Sister Nivedita, again, she went to depression. Why? One of her favorite girl was very good at any skills. She was very interested. She was very good, and she used to learn skills very fast. Whatever is taught, she was first among learning. She learned, and Nivedita was thinking that, oh, slowly I can train her so that she can be one of the teacher and she can be one of the support for me to run the school. She was anticipating, she was expecting that, and she probably, Nivedita gave some more time to train this girl in special manner. And she was well trained, no doubt. But because the child marriage system was prevalent in India at that time, and in a very young age, she was married and she was sent to the father-in-law's house. This terribly disturbed Sister Nivedita's mind, and she went into depression, sort of, and she started thinking, what should I do now? Whether should I continue work? One is there is a monetary problem, the other is acceptance of society. Oh, okay, somehow it is getting solved. But again, now I train the people, and in no time they are going away because of the marriage or because of social conditions. Whether should I continue work or not? So that was, again, she was in a great dilemma. She felt very unhappy about it, and sort of depression had taken over her mind. And that is the time she came, and again she met her master, Swami Vivekananda. She discussed all these problems. Swami Vivekananda, probably yesterday in our Karma Yoga, in the ideal of freedom, we discussed all these points. By doing Karma Yoga, it is not that the world is going to change, it is I am going to change. Why? Because the world is a moral gymnasium where we have come ourselves to make strong. This idea has been given by Swami Vivekananda in his Karma Yoga lectures. Yesterday we have discussed these things in detail. Now we can understand the practical aspect of it. When we philanthropic minded people or the service minded people, when with all goodness, with all humbleness, with all good intentions, when we start serving the people, when we start serving the society, such type of incidental failures, incidental challenges, incidental adverse circumstances are bound to come, and we are bound to face. Then how to face it? How to overcome it? How to go ahead? It is very challenging. There can be the blocks, either at the physical level, or even at the mental level, or even the thought process for all of us. The same problem was faced by Sister Nivedita too. And Swami Vivekananda said, all these are part and parcel of the work or the service activities. Keep continuing, never mind. Today or tomorrow, things will be solved by the grace of God and by our sheer will and consistency. And Swami Vivekananda also gave one more idea. He had given one more idea that, see, this girls' school, you are doing it, it is very good, you have to do it, no doubt. But at the same time, you have to do widows' orphanage. You have to start widows' orphanage where you should train them as an education missionaries so that they will help for the girls' school. They can come and teach the girls for in the education where handling subjects, handling in training and all, so that it will help the widows as well as the girls' school, so that your work will be easy. When Swami Vivekananda had said earlier, Nivedita had not accepted. Now she feels that it is required. Now you see, a monk 125 years before is telling, first is, one is we have to uplift the masses, poor people. The second is telling that until otherwise girls' education has given and there's improvement in the girls' status, the country cannot progress. And the third is saying that you start widows' home where widows should be trained in education and they should be educational missionaries. What a magnanimous idea, and what a rational idea, and what a progressive idea, which is given from which we are getting from a monk. Monks means generally we all think that they sit for meditation, they preach Vedas, they preach Upanishads, they preach Vedanta or scriptures or religion or spirituality. That's all. But it is not so. They teach all of them, no doubt, but they are very progressive too. Why? Because they understand what are the problems in the society and also what can be the solutions to get rid of it or to erase the problems. Now, Sister Nivedita started feeling that probably widow home is good to start. But again, there is a problem of monetary help or financial help. And but anyhow, Sister Nivedita's lifetime, it never happened. But Sister Sudhira, who was the student of this Nivedita's girls' school, later, after the demise of Sister Nivedita, because Swami Vivekananda's ideas and Sister Nivedita's ideas, since she knew very well, she started widows, orphan or widows' home to help the widows. And he gives again a beautiful idea that when she went to discuss the problems with the money and Swami Vivekananda helps, probably I will try to help you monetary or financial, how we can run some cottages or some industries, small scale industries we see. Today Ramakrishna Mission is running very successfully this industry, village industry, by providing raw materials for villages in the different parts of Bengal and northern part of India. Like for an example, the raw materials for incense sticks. So the Ramakrishna Mission provides for the villagers. Interested people, they take with a very small amount and they prepare incense sticks and they are again sold to Ramakrishna Mission. Ramakrishna Mission buy them and they try to sell in the retail counter in the different centers, so that employment is given. Similarly, the caps which Ramakrishna Mission monks use in India, especially cotton caps and cotton shirts, cotton woolly coats, bags, so many things. Jute industry has been started. All these small scale industries have started in the villages from Ramakrishna Mission. This idea was given by Swami Vivekananda late in 1899. That by doing this, what happens? We will be giving employment to the villagers. Simply if you teach religion, if you teach spirituality, it is of no use. Few people can accept, but many of them may be poor people, may be unemployed. For them, Vedanta may not help. Instead, that we should help in that manner also. So, Swami Vivekananda, at that time itself, he had given an idea to Sister Nivedita. It strikes me as an excellent, Nivedita speaks. You have no idea of the deliciousness of green mango jam. And of course, you know Bengali chutney. I am sure we can do this. And it would be widening the scope of our work educationally. To be managed entirely by women, think of that. Of course, we would make a very small beginning. Oh, I am dying to really earn what we want. So Swami Vivekananda is giving this idea to Sister Nivedita so that we can stand financially strong, and also will be providing employment to the woman also. And this whole process will be managed by woman itself by producing mango jam, because lot of mangoes are available in Bengal. You take it, prepare mango jam and mango chutney, and you try to sell it so that unemployment problem is reduced. Then financial help for the people, your financial help or support you are giving it. Second thing, and third thing, probably a meager income if it gets, you'll be able to do service activities, you'll be able to take care of yourself. Such a magnanimous, progressive idea was given by monk, the Swami Vivekananda, to Sister Nivedita. Though they all felt it is very interesting, but it didn't initialize or it didn't materialize during Swami Vivekananda. Taking this idea of Swami Vivekananda, Ramakrishna Mission is doing this small scale industries even now, where thousands of villagers, either men or women, have been benefited even today. And in 1899, Swami Vivekananda, Swami Turiyanandji, and Sister Nivedita, all of the three, in June 20th, 1899, they left for West second time in the Golconda steamer. And they came around in July to the London. And in the Wimbledon, Swami Vivekananda stayed in Sister Nivedita's house, where Sister Nivedita's age-old mother, his brother, and her sister, her brother and her sister, all the three were there. And Swami Vivekananda stayed for a few days to make happy Sister Nivedita. Sister Nivedita felt very happy, and she felt, of course, blessed. And her mother was also very happy to see her daughter, Sister Nivedita, and to see Swami Vivekananda. Then Richmond. Richmond is the brother of Sister Nivedita. He makes a beautiful comment. By seeing Swami Vivekananda, now I understand there is no wonder my sister, who was of a great iron will lady, is impressed and followed her master, that is Swami Vivekananda. Why? Because he is a great personality and is known for his power. I am able to feel it, and there is no wonder why my sister, Margaret Noble, followed Swami Vivekananda. So such was an impression created by Swami Vivekananda in the Western country also. After staying few days, Swamiji left for USA, but Nivedita stayed back with her family. Why? Because her sister's marriage was there. She stayed for some more days with her family, and she finished her sister's marriage, and afterwards she left to USA to join Swami Vivekananda. And once after meeting Swami Vivekananda, again she makes a interesting comment there. If he had, like Swami Vivekananda had my health and strength, he would have conquered the world. Because of doing continuous work, his body has been shattered. And I was a Kshatriya. Did I know that I belong to his family? She is telling that I am a Kshatriya race, and Swami Vivekananda, my master, also belongs to Kshatriya race. I was not a Brahmin. Austerity was the path and so on. It was tremendous. And he ended with a blessing in which the Guru was lost and it became all Father, as he told me to go out into the world and fight for him. The only thing he now wanted before he could pass away from the world into peace or death. So here she got a notion clearly, because Swami Vivekananda, by attendance of that, Swami Vivekananda is deciding slowly to leave this, to leave his mortal coil, or to leave this mundane world. He had told that, I don't know for how many days I will be here. I will be there in this earth. I would like to see that your work will be placed on the strong base. When he made such an utterances, it was very difficult for Sister Nivedita. Tears rolled down on Sister Nivedita's cheeks, because she understood what her master Swami Vivekananda is telling, that in no time probably her master is deciding to leave this earth, or to leave, shun, or to leave his mortal coil. Then one fine day, Sister Nivedita and Miss Bull was called, and the door was locked. Both of them were thinking, what is happening? Why Swami Vivekananda called only we, two of us? And why is he closing the door? Is very strange. Generally, he doesn't do it. Why it is? They are all thinking. Then slowly Swami Vivekananda, he raised his both hands and it was kept on Miss Bull and Sister Nivedita said, and he started saying, look, my master, Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, whatever he gave me the power, I am now transferring that power to both of you. You are supposed to use this power for the upliftment of the society or for the betterment of the society. Now you imagine what are these great blessed ladies. One is from Ireland, that is Sister Nivedita, and Mrs. Bull is from West, that is America. And both these great ladies, they are getting all the spiritual power from their master, Swami Vivekananda, where Swami Vivekananda had received that spiritual power from his great master, that is Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. By this, we can understand for spirituality and for in the prophet's life, in the incarnation's life, there is no bar of creed, culture, religion, country, or geography. Swami Vivekananda is transferring his spiritual power to the two Western ladies. That is very interesting too. And he says that Swami Vivekananda is saying, what came to us from a woman, I gave to you two women. Means he is telling Sri Ramakrishna is addressing Sri Ramakrishna as a woman. How can Sri Ramakrishna is a masculine, is a man? How can he say Sri Ramakrishna as a woman? Because he knows that Sri Ramakrishna is none other than Kali. There is no difference between Kali and as well as Sri Ramakrishna. So from that point of view, he is telling that whatever from the woman, Kali I have received and I am transferring that power to you. Do what you can with it. Woman's hands will be the best anyway to hold what came from a woman, from mother, that is Mother Kali or Sri Ramakrishna. Who and what she is, I do not know. I have never seen her, but Ramakrishna Paramahamsa saw her and touched her like this. And she showed the touching her sleeves and said, I have touched his feet. So I have tried to know that ultimate truth through Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, but Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa knew that truth better than me. She may be a great disembodied spirit for all I know. Anyway, I cast the load on you. I am going away to be at peace. I felt nearly mad this morning, and I was thinking and thinking what I could do when I went to my room to sleep before lunch. And then I thought of this, and I was so glad it is like a release for me. I have borne it all this time, and now I have given it up. And so, happened the event of my life, the great turning point, and the dear Saint Sarah's. And this was written in the notes of Sister Nivedita. What a great thing, where Swami Vivekananda has transferred all his spiritual powers to these two great ladies. Now we can understand how Sister Nivedita, how she was able to work in the India for the girls' education and for the Indian freedom movement. She also jumped herself into Indian freedom movement. And many revolutionists, Indian freedom fighters were influenced and were inspired by Sister Nivedita. And she did a lot of enormous work. Whoever has studied her life, one will think that a man or a woman can do so much work. Yes, she did. Why? Now we can understand. Now we can get the reply or we can get the answer here because Swami Vivekananda had transferred his spiritual power to Sister Nivedita. And Swami Vivekananda left the room silently, saying that now I am at peace. Whatever I have got the power and whatever is possible, I have done my work and I have distributed that power to you. Now I am at peace. Means he was making himself ready to depart from this world. So this is the great difference between a common man and the great prophets. When we become famous in any place, in any thing, we always feel that, okay, the things should continue like this only. I should be in the place where I'm existing or in the field wherever I am. Because why? With a lot of hard work, hardship, I've created all these things, no doubt, and this credibility I have achieved, and it should continue. People should show that reverence for my achievement, respect all these things for my achievements, for my work, all these things. But whereas in the life of prophets, when they're at peak time, when they have done so many things and people have started accepting and people started accepting them universally, openly, they depart from the world. This is one of the greatest big difference from a common man, or from a common man who has dedicated his life for service, and a prophet or incarnation who has descended on this earth to uplift the society, or who they have dedicated their life and body mind for the complete emancipation of the society. This is the big difference. Now Swami Vivekananda is in his peak. Whole world has been they have accepted Swami Vivekananda as a great monk, volcanic monk, Hindu monk, Vedantic lion. People are feeling that if they see them, they will feel blessed. Many times in the West, it so happened when there was a huge gathering, some of the people who were sitting at the back, they understood that okay, we will not be able to meet or will not be able to say hello to Swami Vivekananda. They raised their hats and they threw to the sky in the air. Why? Because the hat goes above, and if it sees Swami Vivekananda, and if I use that hat, I will feel blessed. I will feel blessed. Such a reverence, such a respect was commanded by Swami Vivekananda, and that time Swami Vivekananda slowly is making his preparation to leave his mortal coil, and to leave this mundane world or earth. That is the greatness of the prophet. And this has been told beautifully even in her diary, that what whatever the secret, the truth, the Kali was given by Sri Ramakrishna to Swami Vivekananda, that is not known to for anyone. Once Swami Vivekananda passes away, that is sealed completely. So these are esoteric statements. These are all mystic statements we don't understand. But here we can see that secret, that power was transferred to Sister Nivedita. And once Sister Nivedita passing, we don't know actually what happened, what is that power, and what is that secret, what is the truth that is called power, or the power named in the name of Kali. This is definitely, when we read such type of incidents, definitely it moves us, and the lot of respect and reverence towards Nivedita, it increases. And if Swami Vivekananda has selected her to transfer his spiritual powers, we can imagine how great lady she could have been. Otherwise, it is not simple or easy to receive some avatars, prophets, or incarnations power. And probably as a result or whatever, in USA, she started getting lot of invitations to address. And what were the subjects? Women education in India. That was the one subject, for example. And also the nature or the ideals of Indian woman. What is the nature and ideals of Indian woman? That was one of the subject she had to speak. And condition of Indian women at Board of Missionaries, for an example, they had asked to speak on condition of women. And in one art institute, I think, in a big institute where a lot of intellectuals had come, lot of intellectuals, they had requested Nivedita to speak on Indian ancient art. One is art, the other is Indian art, the third is Indian ancient art. What a challenging subjects these are all. And who has come from the West, who has gone from the West, she is supposed to speak ideals of Hindu woman, women's education in India, and the Indian ancient art. Such were the subjects were given to Sister Nivedita, and she spoke beautifully, and she had got lot of respect. How? Because of Swami Vivekananda's training. And here again, for a long time, Sister Nivedita had long discussions. And as she herself mentions in her diary, the subject was Hindu beliefs, Hindu faiths, Hindu customs, Hindu saints, and other sages. All these things were discussed, and Swami Vivekananda used to explain all of on these concepts to Sister Nivedita. And why Swami Vivekananda gave so much time for her? Because he was well aware that Sister Nivedita is going to do a lot of work in India. That's why the Indian culture, the greatness and uniqueness of Indian culture, the rich culture and spiritual heritage of Indian culture should be known. Otherwise, she will not be able to probably work in a better way in India. He knew very well. That's why he gave a lot of time and lot of discussions, and lot of his views were given to Sister Nivedita by him. And here again, one more utterance was given by Swami Vivekananda. The gist, if you would paraphrased in a single sentence, that is, problems are many. Problems are many. It is understandable, but the solution is only one. But the solution is only one. Who is that? I am that. Who is that solution is only one? It is you. So there can be challenges, my dear lady. Yes, no doubt. So many problems can come, no doubt. We have to face it, but solution is in me. You keep on continuing, you keep on going, or you keep on moving, things will fall at place. Things will fall at place. This was the great idea was given by Swami Vivekananda to Sister Nivedita. Probably this can be the great lesson even for all of us. Problems are many. It is understandable. Problems are many. It is understandable. But the solution is only one, and I am that solution. You are that solution. With this great message, we shall think about how we can handle the life problems, how we can handle the toughest situations in our life. May Swami Vivekananda and Sister Nivedita bless all of us so that we shall become more and more stronger in all the aspects of our life, and we shall build up our personality and character. And at the same time, we should try to serve the motherland wherever we are living. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Shri Rama Krishna Arpanamastu.